Hey there, and welcome back to Cosmic Crypto. In this video, we're going to be talking about Ravencoin RVN. Let's go. Okay, welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, if you can tap the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Ravencoin, the weekly time frame. So, just to do a quick recap, been following this triangle pattern for some time now, and we tapped the bottom here at the blue line, and we are beginning to get a move to the upside. Our waves on the trend directional on the weekly time frame, we do have a smaller wave with another green dot, and currently we are running into resistance on the RSI at the 50 level. So we're just going to wait and see if we can break above that. Last time we had a massive run like this one back here. We hit the 50 level, broke above it, and then we shot right up. And that kind of looks like what we're doing. And actually, I'm curious. I didn't even check this out earlier. From about right here on this wave right here, from about right here, I want to see, boy, it's like almost lining up perfectly. So from that point until we actually broke above the 50 level took 21 days. Okay. And from where we are right now, and I'm basing this off of this wave count. I'm throwing this out here right now because I just saw it and I wanted to take a look here. You can see that we had the green dot here, just like we have a green dot here. The RSIs are very similar to where they were at. We had this move here, push down, a move here, push down, and now we're hovering on the 50 level, which is what we were doing over here. We did have a double bottom form over here, which is what I'm actually, when we get to the lower time frames, I'm assuming that's probably going to happen. We'll get a double bottom forming. As you can see, we got rejected right off the 618 here and are coming back down. And I think, depends on how bullish this is, we could retest this orange line here. When I zoom in, we'll get a better look at that. Or we can come back down and retest the pink line here, right around the 023 area. But we'll take a look at that closer. But let's just see what I'm seeing here really quick. So as we came, as the wave started to move up to get to the 50 line, we did have this one little hitch right here, and that was our double bottom being formed, which is what we could be seeing right here. And that took 21 days. So 21 days from right now, if it played out just like it did back here and had this massive run up in 21 days, that would, where would that put us? That would put us from right now, February 13th, which is where if we did this, we could start this massive move. It would be starting from a lower point than the actual breakout target, which is right over here. But it does get us awfully close to the breakout target over here if it played out the same way, because even after 21 days, let's just see. Let me do another measurement here from right here. The 21 days took us to the pump up right here, but then we still had a couple more weeks before we had our first major candle, which then was 42 days. And so now let's take 42 days from this current week. And that puts us awfully close to get where we need to be here if this plays out the same way. I'm also really curious to see what this looks like on the RVNBTC chart, which we're going to look at. If you are following me on Twitter, I posted something earlier saying I was going to do a video on Ravencoin tonight because, ooh, man, on this next dip down here, not financial advice, but if you're a believer in Ravencoin and its future, this might be the last dip you get before a blast off, and we're going to take a look at that here on the BTC chart and also on the USD chart. So if this breaks out the way I'm thinking it's going to break out, we are looking at a maximum price target of roughly $1.25. Not saying it's going to get there, not even saying it's going to break out, but this is kind of the charting that I'm doing kind of is saying that it is. Anyway, yeah, so now I want to stay on the weekly time frame really quick. Oh, and actually I want to do a percentage move here. So let's just say this plays out exactly the same way. So from the bottom of the double bottom, so let's say we get a double bottom here. Let's go from there all the way to the top. And that took 49 days from the bottom, and it was a 2,300% move. So let's do 49 days, and let's just assume the bottom comes in at the pink line. And that'll take 2 weeks. So we're going to put it there. And 2,300 is what I said. That puts us, that's probably my first price target too. So I'm going to put a, where is that at? 56 cents. Okay. So we're going to put a pink line there. I want to do a Fibonacci here from the top to the bottom. And let's just see if it reaches if that line right there gets to the 1272. I'm just very curious about that. So funny how that works. Okay, so if you guys know my channel, the 1272 is like my spot. And that would be my first price target, would be around the 65-cent area. And the percentage move that we got previously back here, if it played out from the pink line, would be roughly right around where that 1272 is. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's move on. And I want to stay on the weekly time frame really quick because I want to show you guys the BTC chart. And this is where it gets really interesting. So I usually don't look at the BTC chart, but for some reason I decided to jump on it today. And we've been following this triangle pattern here on the price for, the USD chart. And we go over to the BTC chart, and we are following a triangle on the BTC chart as well, just about to break out on the BTC chart, and it's almost identical. We've got the lower wave here. This looks like it's about to blast off, and let me redo this price target here for the BTC chart because I was doing that on my phone. And this looks like it's going to break out any week now, this BTC thing here. So that puts us on the BTC chart quadruple 02376 sats here, which actually brings us right to our previous high over here on the BTC chart. Roughly, it's just barely above it. Now I am also curious where a Fibonacci would put us. And so that actually brings us even higher than the 1272. That looks like a 1618 maybe, or maybe a 2. It's a 1618. Yeah, so it's right above the 1618. And so that's really interesting that we're going through both, and it just looks like a massive breakout is about to happen, and Ravencoin is about to outperform Bitcoin by a massive percent here. What kind of percent move are we looking at here? 1,700% to that price target right there. And again, that brings us roughly right around Ravencoin's previous all-time high against BTC, which is very curious to me too. I just have this feeling that an alt season that we were all waiting for in the last, quote, bull run is about to happen here. I think the alts are going to be taken off. I mean, they already have been, but I just have this feeling there's going to be some big moves. So let's go back to the RVNUSD, and let's go down to a lower time frame to kind of get to where we've been talking. So in my previous video, I said that we might have resistance at this orange line. We obviously blasted right through that, and we hit the 200 EMA, and we're getting rejected. Or we got rejected off the 200 EMA. Coming down, it looks like we're going to fall here. Depends on where we find support. Not really sure yet. We could find support right around the 025 area, which was this previous high right here, because we already did retest this other support down here around the 023 area. So we might not get all the way down there. Could come all the way down to the 025 area, so pay attention to that. I don't think we're going to go higher right now. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it feels like we're kind of hitting this 200 EMA. We got to come back down for that double bottom and then the breakout. Let's go down to the 12-hour, take a peek here. And according to the 12-hour, the Elliott wave is setting up right at my orange line there, right around 027. And so we could, it's been super bullish lately, so maybe we just go sideways here around the 027, because it's saying on the 12-hour that we're creating our fourth wave right now. And then a price target, if let's say we hit that, okay, so let's take our price target from the bottom of the first wave to the top of the first wave, and then to the bottom of where wave 4 is possibly going to be. And we've got a price target of, almost all the way to the top here. The 1618 is usually a minimum price target, which brings us almost to the top of this triangle that we're in, and it also makes us hit the 0.5. I believe this is the 0.5 Fibonacci. Yes, it is. The 0.5 Fibonacci brings us right into that area. Plus, we got previous resistance over here as well. But let's do another estimate here, because wave 1 and wave 5 are usually similar. So let's go from the bottom of wave 1, and we're going to do percentage of the wave 1, which was a 45% move. And so let's go from wave 4, where it possibly could come in at, and a 45% move actually puts us to the 1 right here. And so I actually think that that's more likely. And we're not going to hit that 1618 just yet. And so we may get this fall down to create our wave 4. If this plays out the way that the Elliott wave should play out, we should not get below. So we shouldn't come down to this pink line, really, because if we get below 0259, that means this Elliott wave count is broken. It's not accurate. Now, this 3 could actually still go higher. So this is not set in stone yet. This is just an estimate. It's a forecast. And so we actually, really, this is a very small 3. Usually the 3 is a lot larger. What kind of percentage move was that for the third wave? It was only a 41%. So actually, I'm almost thinking, boy, maybe this does go higher and the 3 wave gets a higher move here, which would make more sense to me. So, boy, I'm kind of thinking maybe on Wednesday we're going to find out whether or not we're dropping down a little bit lower and this wave count will be broken because it'll breach the first wave. Or we're going to break higher from currently where we're at. Maybe we touch this orange line, go higher, and then the third wave is continuing on, because this is, again, just a forecast. And so maybe the third wave goes higher, and maybe we are doing something like a 1, 2, third wave comes up to the 0.5 Fibonacci, comes down to the 4 wave, and then our 5th wave breaks us out of there. And that puts us, just a rough estimate at the beginning of February, beginning to middle of February would be my rough estimate for timing wise. Now you can never really get timing correct, but we can try. Also, this looks like a giant cup and handle is forming as well. We got the giant cup here. If we do come down a little bit more, form a handle and then move on. And if that does form that price target for that cup and handle, that brings us right up. Perfectly touching my line up here. I can see some big moves coming for Ravencoin. We already had a massive move. From the bottom down here to our local top here was a 75% move. I'm expecting an explosive move. Short term, meaning, a month and a half maybe, to get an explosive move out of Ravencoin. Whether or not we see this explosive move that we had back here, back in 2021, or maybe we just get an explosive move like we had over here during the Ethereum merge. Something like that. I'm kind of expecting an explosive move to come here soon. So it's pretty much what I got for Ravencoin. We do have the BTC chart lining up perfectly with the USD chart for an imminent breakout in the next few months. Imminent as in next few months, because these are all in the higher time frames. On the lower time frames, it's not looking as good. Boy, I don't know. Actually, kind of on the 4 hour, it doesn't look too bearish to me either. Not only just because of this forecast to our 5th wave, which would bring us at the max price here, roughly around the 0.04 cent level area. And also this third wave is still really weak here. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. This could just be, we got the green dot on here. This could actually be rolling over. So what I could see happening here is we get a smaller wave right around here with a red dot. And so then we get, the wave kind of forming like this. And then we get that dot, and then that would be a divergence. Well, it wouldn't be a divergence from the price action, but usually when you get those smaller waves, that's when you start to see it kind of curl over a little bit. So we could see something like that. So pay attention to that. Okay, I'm going to cut this in. I'm not really sure where I'm going to place this yet, but I did notice something right after I stopped recording. We were looking at the 4 hour time frame towards the end of the video here, so I'm going to cut it in somewhere in there. But one thing, so like I said, I do feel like this is going to roll over, and so we've got higher prices coming in here. But if you look down at the RSI, we do have lower RSI. So we do have a pretty big bearish divergence showing up here. So I wanted to point that out. And so I do actually think in the shorter term, we either go sideways for quite a bit, or we are going to roll over and come back down to, the 0.25 area. Would be my best guess, is the 0.25 area. So coming down to there. Otherwise, we can just go sideways for quite a while. We're going to be forming this fourth wave here, which I still don't know about this. I kind of think that we might break this structure, this Elliott wave structure, only because this wave 3 is so short. And so normally the third wave is usually a big blast off. And so since it's so short, I am kind of thinking we're going to roll over and possibly break this structure. So pay attention to that. If we do not get below the 0.26 area, then we haven't broken the structure yet, and we might just go sideways, which then again wouldn't break the structure. And if we do that, try and pay attention to some kind of a pattern forming, whether it be some kind of a triangle pattern, or maybe we just get kind of up and down action. We form a channel of sorts. Just pay attention to some kind of pattern or a channel forming. You can kind of once you can see it, especially on the lower time frames like the 1 hour or the 2 hour or something like that. If you can see that forming, then you can kind of place where your bet's going to be, where we might actually break to the upside. If it's a triangle pattern, we're going to break towards the end of the triangle. If it's a channel, then we pay attention to the lower end of the channel, maybe get some buys at the lower end, sells at the upper end and whatnot until we do break above the top. But anyway, just wanted to add this in there. I did see that bearish divergence right after I stopped recording. Wanted to make sure I put that in there. Thanks. If you were, long-term bullish on Ravencoin, even at these prices, it's still a great price. I honestly don't expect us to go lower than 0.23 unless it's some kind of a quick wick. Flash crash or something like that. I just don't see us going lower than 0.230. And so you can try and wait for that kind of price range, which I don't know that that's going to happen. But dollar cost averaging in at these prices, I still think is fantastic. I actually, I bought some more today on spot because I do believe that there's a massive move coming here in the short to medium term time frame for Ravencoin. Anyway, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and I'll talk to you later.